Hi, welcome to my channel, Readerwoman. My name is Judy, and tonight we have a tag. The Do I Have That Book tag. And I will put the questions below, as well as the creator of this tag. Now I'm totally cheating. I was supposed to run around and find the books in real time and time myself. Let's just say I come in last. I've mentioned it before, but my library has been disassembled. I've got it in 6 different places, and I don't really know exactly where all my books are. So I didn't think it would be fair. I'd be running all around the house, upstairs, downstairs, and yeah, I just wasn't going to do that. But I thought it was a fun tag, and so I went ahead and I collected the books that I could. And I thought that we would enjoy the questions together. So just keep in mind, I come last. There's absolutely no question about that. The first challenge, do you have a book with deckled edges? And yes, I do. It is one of my prize possessions, The Confessions of an English Opium Eater by Thomas de Quincey. I must have been late teens when I went to a book library sale, and I found this edition that has deckled edges. It has the most amazing images, and in fact it not only had deckled edges, but I had to go through and actually cut the edges of some of the pages that were folded together. So anyways, I'm a proud owner of this. So definitely one of my best finds ever. All right, number 2. Do you have a book with 3 or more people on the cover? Once again, we have to remember I'm limited. I've got 2 bookshelves here, but I've got things in front of a lot of it. So this is what I found. And there are 3 people. The Loving Friends. A Portrait of Bloomsbury, which I really have enjoyed having. I've read it a couple of times. The pictures are really cool. And they're different pictures than those that you normally see of all the different players. So, you know, Bloomsbury's always been an interest, not my prime interest, but definitely the same time period that I've always been fascinated with. So anyways, 3 people. Do you have number 3, do you have a book based on another fictional story? And yes, I do. Ulysses, based on the Odyssey. So yay. This is my most beloved high school edition. I love it, but it's falling apart. I don't know that it has another reading in it, but it took me through college a couple of times. So anyways, yes, I had that. Do you have a book with a title 10 letters long? And I do. Mr. TC Boyle, The Terranauts. I haven't read this one yet. I'll see. So I can't really say if I love it or not, but it's definitely something I have. Do you have a book with a title that starts and ends with the same letter? The Tempest. It took me a while to find it, but I found it. Yay! And also one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. Of course, I always prefer the humor, but yeah, it also has some drama. Number 6, do you have a Mass Market Paperback book? Yes, I do. I think that my Bantam Books edition of Jitterbug Perfume counts. And not only is it a mass market, but it is a signed Mass Market to Judy. from Tom Robbins. I got an opportunity to meet him, and I took all my books, and I had my college story, and I got to tell him my college story and how he helped me to get a good grade in a lit class with Cowgirls Get the Blues. Only cowgirls get the blues. So anyways, and I've read this over and over again. Very fond of it. So yes, I definitely have a Mass Market. Do you have a book written by an author using a pen name? You know, I looked hard on this one. A lot of the ones that I think of, mystery writers and romance writers, that kind of thing, I disposed of. I took to Goodwill when I was downsizing my library. I no longer really have any real mysteries or anything like that in physical copy. So my thought was, in the future, if I want to read a mystery or something like that, I'll do it on a Kindle. So I did find Dreaming in the Dark by Starhawk. So obviously Starhawk is not her real name. So is it a pen name? I'm not quite sure if you call it that, but she definitely is writing not under her own name, under another persona. So I count this as good. All right. Do you have a book with a character's name in the title? And I was going to go try and, my Jane Austen's in the back, and I was going to go find Emma. And then I looked over there, and I found Mrs. Dalloway, which is a very charming, beautiful book. I don't know why I haven't read more. Well, I know why, but I really need to read more Virginia Woolf. Although I really have read most of her diaries. I've read all of it up to the last one. It kind of got very sad. Her depression took over, and you just felt it in her writing, and I really wasn't able to finish it. So anyways, my bad. But yeah, I think her fiction I definitely need to read more of. Do you have a book with a character's name in the title? Though I just did that one. Sorry. 9. Do you have a book with 2 maps in it? I know I've got a lot of them, but I looked here. The Fatal Shore. And I looked in the back and I was like, oh no, oh no. And then I looked up front, and there are maps galore here. You know, for anyone interested in the history of Australia, or even just history, great book. Love that one. All right, let's see here. Do you have a book that was turned into a TV show? Yes, I do. Not a long TV show, but I mean a TV adaptation, Pride and Prejudice. Of course, you know, my favorite was in the 90s, but there have been quite a few. So I feel very confident that even though it hasn't been made into like a series that has lasted years, definitely has been a show. Do you have a book written by someone who is originally famous for something else? Yes, I do. Beryl Markham's West with the Night. She was, first of all, famous for flying across the Atlantic, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. And, you know, and then whether she went on to write this book or she had some help writing it, we'll never know. But definitely she wouldn't have been writing this book if she hadn't been famous elsewhere first. So, yes. Do you have a book with a clock on the cover? I couldn't find one. I was thinking I might have found it on Alice in Wonderland, but I couldn't find it. So, do you have a poetry book? Yes, The Complete Poems of D.H. Lawrence. Which is kind of the way I have my poetry. You know, I don't have slim little things. I have big tomes of complete, you know, Thomas Hardy. Yeah, that's kind of more my poetry, because I'm not a real poetry person, but I do have poetry in my library. Do you have a book with an award stamp on it? Now, I try really hard not to buy books that either have the cover of a movie or, you know, or an award. However, when I bought this, A Wrinkle in Time, it had that on there. And it was a secondhand buy for my nieces when they were young. And obviously they weren't entranced with the book as much as I was. Sad but true. But anyways, so yes, I do. But I try to keep that at a minimum. I just don't like that on the cover. Do you have a book written by an author with the same initials as you? No. I thought I did. Well, no, I didn't. I thought, well, who would have initials J.U.? And then I looked it up on Wikipedia, because I am the slowest one on this competition. And John Opdyke, whom I don't read. I had some books of his, but those I took to Goodwill. So I kind of call it, but now that I know John Updike has the same initials as myself, makes me feel a little bit more friendly towards him, but I doubt if I ever read him. I don't know, he just never interested me. The same way John Cheever. Just not my style of writing. Anyways. Do you have a book of short stories? I would call this Yes with Dubliners, which is made up of vast number of short stories. Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, yeah, is in there too, so it's not exactly a complete, you know, short story book. Unfortunately, my TC Boyle short stories I lent to a young man who was studying for the SATs. I was hoping to improve his vocabulary, and I never got the book returned, so yeah, that was I don't really normally collect a lot of short stories. It's more either novels or, you know, history, nonfiction. So anyways, do you have a book that is between 500 and 510 pages long? I thought I had the right thing, but this is damn close, okay? This is Peter Ackroyd's Shakespeare, the biography. And I was so excited because it ended on 518. So I'm off a few pages. It's a little harder than I thought it was going to be finding that exact thing, and I've dismantled so much of my books anyways, I wasn't going to search anymore, so maybe kind of a little bit over is all. Do you have a book that was turned into a movie? Once again, let's talk about Pride and Prejudice. And I'm looking forward to rereading this with Steve Donahue next month in March. That's why I've pulled it out, and I plan on keeping it out. It's not my favorite Jane Austen. That's Persuasion, but it'll be fun to re-look at this. And then, do you have a graphic novel? No. I bought one once. I bought Jane Eyre, the graphic novel, and it was beautiful, and I gave it to my niece, and she loved it, but I have a feeling it burned up in the fire in her family home, the fire of Santa Rosa in 2017. So, but I don't personally, you know, it's not my generation. I haven't gotten into that at all. I don't know, it looks like more work than it's worth, but oh well. And then, do you have a book written by 2 or more authors? I didn't have to search very far. A Skeleton Key to Finnegan's Wake. And that is the Joseph Campbell and Henry Morton Robinson. So anyways, I am a proud owner. And and it's 2 people. So, all right, I had fun with this, although I am sorry I wasn't running around crazy like everybody else, but I thought there were some extenuating circumstances. And if you watch this, you're tagged. Go do it. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, I hope you're having a great evening and are reading something fascinating. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.